And welcome to an early morning edition of Soden's Top 10, brought to you by the Soden Bowl Network. I am your host, S. Soden, and this morning, we have a special edition of the Top 10. Bart Starr, the legendary Hall of Fame quarterback from the Green Bay Packers. He is no longer with us. In honor of him, he has been placed on our top 10, and we honor this week's edition in his name. So, week 13 is here, season number 94. This season has absolutely flown by, and there is a little bit of change towards the bottom of the list here, but all in all, this list has pretty much stayed the same. Some names have moved around a little bit due to wins and losses, but the dominant teams are staying dominant. There was a couple upsets. The Indianapolis Colts upset the Green Bay Packers, took their winless season away from them in really a dominating performance by the Colts. What I thought was your blessed's best game of his Soden Bowl career. I had the chance to break down that game film. I got to tell you, I do not want to play the Colts. Your blessed is on fire. That offense is clicking. He played a very, very good Packers team who has been on the top of my list just about all season. So those Indianapolis Colts, they're making a name for themselves. They did have a couple losses, but without further ado, let's get into my top 10. At number 10, I have the Atlanta Falcons for the first time this year. Coach, your Momza breaks into the top 10, and he breaks into the top 10 in style. He has beat some solid opponents this season with an Atlanta Falcons team that is pretty damn good. Julio Jones is on fire. Matty Ryan is playing MVP quality football. Your Momza has amazing stick skills. Very good sim owner as well. He has those Atlanta Falcons really playing kind of lights out here. They are 8-4 in second place in the South. And looking at this Falcons team, they rank 12th in offense and 6th in defense. They are scoring an average of 21 points per game and allowing 16 points per game. Again, just a really good season for the Atlanta Falcons. They look to be a playoff team, and they're a tough out. Any which way you look at them, I mean, you really got a game plan for Julio Jones, and then he just has so many more weapons he can hit you with. Matt Ryan is completing a ton of passes. Just a really tough team. So number 10, well deserved, and should be moving up this list. Maybe a Super Bowl sleeper here with the Atlanta Falcons. We'll see how he can do. We'll see if he can catch those Carolina Panthers. I'm not quite sure. I think he's got to win out, and I think the Panthers got to lose out, but we'll see here. So at number 10, the Atlanta Falcons, moving into number 9. Number 9, a personal favorite here. I love watching King X Booker's games with those Arizona Cardinals. He has the Cardinals at 8-4. And for those of you that are not tracking, he took over this team, and Larry Fitzgerald had retired. Rosen is gone, and Patrick Peterson was traded. And what does he do? He comes in and wins. And he has been in first place most of the year in the NFC West, but he did lose first place. He's only a game back of the Los Angeles Rams, and he is playing very, very good football. I really can't say it's his roster. No offense, Cardinals, but your roster's a little bit bland. However, his stick skills are very, very good. He has the 5th ranked offense, scoring 25 points per game, and the 9th ranked defense only allowing 17 points per game. That is that championship quality points to points allowed percentage that we talk about so much week in and week out in Soden Bowl. And for him to do that with an Arizona Cardinals roster that is at best, Tells you he's a pretty damn good player. I expect to see him in the playoffs. I expect to see him make some noise. Him and the Falcons, man, they're rounding out just our top 10. They're at the bottom part of our top 10. I know the Cardinals were sixth at one point, but they did drop a couple games. But he has the Cardinals. So outstanding job for King X Booker and the number 9 Arizona Cardinals. Moving into my 8th spot. My 8th spot here is somebody that can absolutely bring it on offense. Crowd Pleaser 90, the host of Art of War, one of our good shows on the SBN network. He has his Chicago Bears poised for another deep playoff run in Soden Bowl. The Bears sitting at 9-3 in second place, only because you have those pesky Packers who just don't seem to want to lose. But the Chicago Bears are making a run. They're making another playoff run. I've watched him play in the the NFC Championship game a couple seasons ago. It looks like he's poised to bounce right back into those NFC playoffs, this time with the Chicago Bears and a absolutely solid defense with Chicago depth chart wise. Looking at this team, he scores 24 points per game, which ranks him 7th in the league, and he allows just 17 points per game, which again ranks him 7th in the league. Defensively in yards, he's top 10 basically in everything. He's got return of the Mac, as Alpha would say Khalil Mack. He did pick up Odell Beckham, who, oh, by the way, leads the league with Tyreek Hill in yards receiving. So great move by the Chicago Bears and Coach Crowd Pleaser in picking up Odell Beckham, a la what the Cleveland Browns did this year. He picked him up, and he hasn't looked back. He's playing fantastic with him. So another good owner that I like watching. Crowd Pleaser 90, his number 8 Bears, guys. Watch out for the Chicago Bears. They are a very tough out. Moving into lucky number 7. As mentioned before, number 7, the Indianapolis Colts Hall of Fame head coach. You're blessed, 0-0. His Colts are an offensive nightmare. Dorsett leading the team with yards, almost leading the league. I think he ranks in the top 5. He had a great season last year, very good season again this year. He's got a rookie quarterback, 2-0 back there. He's really coming around. The Colts upset the undefeated Packers. Well, the once undefeated Packers. They did a good job. This Colts team here, we're going to take a second here and take a look at the Colts. Now, the Colts are 9-3 and in first place in the AFC South. And they have the number 6th ranked offense scoring 25 points per game. The 11th ranked defense only allowing 18 points per game. The Colts are 9-3. The closest team to them is the Tennessee Titans at 5-6, and the Jacksonville Jaguars at 5-6. So those two teams are a good 3 games behind the Colts with not many games left here. What do we have? About four weeks left here in Soden Bowl until we hit the playoffs. So those Colts are going to be a tough out. So number 7, Hall of Fame head coach, you're blessed, and his Indianapolis high-power Colts. Moving into number 6. Number 6 is a very high-flying offense. The Los Angeles Rams head coach Lurk God 201. He looked like he was maybe a wild card team at about the mid-season point, about week 7 or week 8. He had lost a head-to-head matchup versus the Cardinals and King Booker. Booker looked like he was going to start to pull on this division, and then Lurk God started playing even better than he already was. And that Los Angeles Rams teams, ladies and gentlemen, is 9-3. First place in the NFC West. He currently has the number 4 seed if you were looking from a playoff point of view. Those Los Angeles Rams here, they have the number 8 offense scoring 24 points per game. and the number 3 defense, only allowing 15 points per game. That is championship quality football right there. Lurk God is going to make some noise in the playoffs. I am glad that I do not have to play in this NFC. The NFC is absolutely loaded right now. So at number 6, Coach Lurk God moving up the ranks. Let's move into number 5, the top 5, sponsored by Allied Plumbing and Heat, a name you can trust in the Colorado Springs area. Guys, if you have HVAC or plumbing needs, make sure you give these guys a call. Allied Plumbing and Heat, alliedphllc.com. Again, a name you can trust, veteran owned and operated. So, into the top 5. At number 5, the Super Bowl champion, T. Hoyt 51 and his newly acquired New England Patriots. At number 5, this this owner is on fire. He can beat anyone at any time. He has the New England Patriots, who do not have Gronkowski and Edelman. Those two guys are gone, but he continues to win football games. Sony Michel is a big reason why, and that defense led by Devin McCourty. And, oh, by the way, T. Hoyt 51's very good stick skills and play calling has this team poised for another run into the playoffs and possibly T. Hoyt's 3rd Super Bowl in Soden Bowl. Now, the backstory on Mr. Hoyt. Mr. Hoyt was the defensive coordinator for the Oakland Raiders last year. The Oakland Raiders head coach had to bow out. He took over the reins, went to the Super Bowl, faced Kilo Ren's Green Bay Packers, and was kind of manhandled most of the game, but was able to fight back, force overtime, and then had this long run on the outside. And long story short, he ended up winning the Super Bowl against all odds. He was an underdog in that game. He hadn't played in a long time, and just did a very, very good job. So the reigning Super Bowl champion, T. Hoyt, however, the Patriots were not in the Super Bowl. I don't even think the Patriots made the playoffs last season. Looking at this Patriots team, they have the number 1 offense, scoring 28 points per game, and the number 14 defense, allowing 20 points per game. This team is cruising at 9-2. They lead the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins are 6-6, so they have a solid 4-game lead on those Miami Dolphins via the loss column. Tom Brady's over 2,000 yards, 17 touchdowns. Sony Michel closing in on a 1,000-yard season again. Josh Gordon and rookie Deshaun Hamilton lead this team in receptions. Both receivers should surpass the 1,000-yard mark. And then they have Jay Sternberger, tight end, the new mini Gronk in New England. He's closing in. He's got almost 500 yards receiving. That is very, very good. This team is solid top to bottom on the depth chart. Yeah, they don't have Gronk, but you wouldn't know it by looking at them. That offense is ranked number 1 also in yards per game at 349.8 yards per game for the New England Patriots. So I have the Patriots. That is the first of my top 5. Moving into number 4. Number 4, we have the Philadelphia Eagles. Rye McBreezy. All this guy has done is win since entering the league. His Eagles team has a pretty good roster, but they weren't playing like it when he took over. So the Eagles currently are the number 3 seed in the NFC, and they sit in first place in the NFC East at 10-2. They're tied. Actually, I'm sorry. They're tied for the 2nd seed. 10-2. That Eagles team has the number 11th ranked offense, scoring 22 points per game, and the number 5th defense, allowing just 16 points per game. Nick Foles has taken over for the injured Carson Wentz. Foles has 1,523 yards, 11 touchdowns. Ajayi has 873 yards. He's going to have a 1,000-yard season. And then Alshon Jeffrey cruising to a 1,000-yard season again this year. This Eagles team is ready for a very, very solid playoff run. They have a solid depth chart, and Coach McBreezy is a proven winner so far this year. He's won a lot of good games against quality opponents, and to me, I think he is on fire going into the playoffs. I do not want to have to face an Eagles team in the playoffs. So at number four, the Philadelphia Eagles at 10-2. Moving into number three. Number three, we have the Denver Broncos. Coach S. Soden, myself. This Broncos team is loaded on defense. This team, they set the record last year with only allowing 7 points per game on defense. This year they are 10-2 on the season, cruising to an easy first place lead over the Oakland Raiders, who are 6-5-1. They've already swept the Raiders on the season series. The Denver Broncos have the 13th ranked offense, scoring 21 points per game, and the number one defense, allowing just 10 points per game. They are number one in yards and number one against the pass, and number five against the run, only allowing 64 yards per game on average on the run and only 123 yards allowed through the air on defense. Looking at this team statistically, Jarrett Stidham having another rock solid season, 2,500 yards passing. He should have another 3,000 yard season, 13 touchdowns. Philip Lindsay cruising to a 1,000-yard season, and Rice Freeman's having a very good year as the number two halfback. He'll probably finish with 500 or 600 yards on the ground. And then Kenny Galladay, he's cruising to a 1,000-yard season as well in the receiving core. And then they have a whole bunch of guys with about 400 or 500 yards behind him. Telvin Smith having a Pro Bowl season, and the great Von Miller leading the team in sacks. I believe Von Miller's already made the Pro Bowl. I got that notification a couple days ago. So Von Miller, the heartbeat of that defense, but Telvin Smith, he's played great too. I think he has 5 interceptions on the year. He's just one behind Stephon Gilmore. So the Denver Broncos 10-2 at number three. Moving into number two. Number two is probably one of the hottest owners in Soden Bowl right now. Number two, number one draft pick, Carolina Panthers. The Carolina Panthers, they lost in a heartbreaking game versus the then undefeated Green Bay Packers. It looked like he was going to have the win, and then just a boneheaded penalty on him. He ended up having to punt the ball at the end and got a loss because of it. Just a tough way to lose. I know he's going to bounce right back, and if I'm the Green Bay Packers, I'm looking out for the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers are 10-2. They did have a loss when he took over. That was his first loss. Number one draft pick's first loss was against Kilo Wren's undefeated Green Bay Packers. This Panthers team is absolutely loaded on defense, much like the Denver Broncos. The Carolina Panthers are the 9th ranked offense, 24 points per game on average scoring, and only allowing 12 points on defense. That ranks number 2. This team is led by Luke Kuechly, and he is an absolute force. He has 5 interceptions this season, 4 sacks, 3 forced fumbles, the heartbeat of that defense. Cam Newton's been solid, 2,300 yards passing, just 11 touchdowns. But, this team's running the football really good with Christian McCaffrey and Darrell Henderson. And then Curtis Samuel and DJ Moore look like they're going to come close to a 1,000-yard season. We'll have to see how they finish. This Carolina Panthers team at 10-2, they are in first place, 2 games ahead of the red-hot Atlanta Falcons. So I'm very interested to see how this division will play out here. The Falcons will need some help if they are to overtake that Carolina Panthers team. But I have the Carolina Panthers ranked number 2 now. I bet you everybody can guess who's number 1. Number 1, I have the Green Bay Packers again for like the 6th straight week. Kylo Ren, hugs and kisses, XOXO. And his 11-1 Green Bay Packers. They are just dominating everybody except for the Colts. The Colts team kind of took it to them a little bit. Uh, but this Green Bay Packers team is the third ranked offense, scoring 26 points per game. The fourth ranked defense only allowing 16 points per game. This team is 11-1. They have a 2-game lead over the also red hot Chicago Bears, who are 9-3. Aaron Rodgers is having a Pro Bowl season, 2,300 yards passing, 18 touchdowns. Uh, Not really too much in the way of running here. Aaron Jones has almost 500 yards. They did pick up Le'Veon Bell right at the trade deadline. He has 401 yards, 6 touchdowns. A good pickup, but we'll see how it plays out. They weren't really running the ball too well prior. Looking at the receiving core, Randall Cobb, he's going to have an easy 1,000-yard season, 8 touchdowns so far. And then Blake Martinez having himself a season. 9 sacks, 35 tackles, 3 forced fumbles. Just a great job. Looking at the injuries, they don't have any real injuries. So this team is poised for another Super Bowl run. This would be back-to-back Super Bowl appearances if Coach Kilo Ren can uh, pull this off. For those of you that do not know, Kilo Ren has his own show called Forced Fumble, only on SBN. He breaks down game film from select games each week, and he shows, misreads. He breaks down play art. Just a fabulous job. If you guys haven't had a chance to check him out, this will be episode 3 for him. This one coming up. His last 2 episodes were superb. Really good insight. He's also going to help me host a couple or broadcast a couple games in the SBN Tournament of Champions. Guys, if you haven't seen that, 128 player tournament, single elimination bracket style, hosted by SBN. Just a great interleague tournament. If you guys want to join this thing, sbn.community. Can't miss the sign up form. Get in there, jump in the Discord server. Link is on the sign up page. Jump in there and get your game on. Again, it's 128 players. I think we're up to 80 right now. We still have 3 weeks of registration to go. Kickoff is July 1, but check it out, guys. This is it, guys. My top 10. Sponsored by Allied Plumbing and Heat. We'll run through them again here real quick. We have the Atlanta Falcons at 10, Arizona Cardinals 9, Chicago Bears 8, the Indianapolis Colts number 7, the Los Angeles Rams at 6, the New England Patriots into the top 5. Top 5 sponsored by Allied Plumbing and Heat. Number 4, the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 3, the Denver Broncos. Number 2, the Carolina Panthers. And number 1, the most dominant team in the league at this point, the Green Bay Packers at 11-1. Fantastic job so far this year, guys. This season has really flown by. In the chat, let's make sure we start talking about our team draft, which is going to take place about mid-July. SBP, your total SBP points are going to determine what draft pick you have. The top 32 SBP point earners, you guys are going to get invited to the team draft. If somebody can't make it, then the next man up will get the invite, so on and so forth. Welcome to the league. We have 2 new owners in the league. Welcome to the league. You guys are awarded 500 SBPs for joining so late. So again, welcome to the league. Week 13 is here, and before you know it, it's probably going to advance again tomorrow for all I know. Kolitz has done a fantastic job keeping this league moving, making sure people are playing their games. So that's it, guys. Top 10, my top 10, Soden's top 10, only on the SBN. I am out of here. You guys have a fantastic weekend. That's it, guys. Later.